Check, check. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for joining on time. Yeah, ISRG. I'll definitely take a look at for you. You are second on the list, other than a DM request I got, so I'll definitely put that on there for you. Just gonna give it a couple minutes, let people roll in. JJ weekend was good, man. It was busy. I got a new vehicle. Down in San Diego area, I had to drive up to Bakersfield to. I got a Forerunner TRD that I just absolutely love. Been eyeing the vehicle for a while, and they're expensive as hell. They just weren't meeting my price point. I found this one, and so I sold the other one because I had the newest gen of the Rav4, which it's all-wheel drive, but it's not really off-road capable, and I like to camp and explore. So yeah, guys, I'm excited, man. Tactile license and all that's not fun, but other than that, I got some good equity on my old car and got this one, and so been trying to transition to that today, and then not forget about this class. But here we are. But hope your guys' weekend was great too. Yeah, chart writer. I'm hoping like literally, I got a 5-year loan, but I plan on paying it off in 3 or 4 years. Because I didn't finance that much. It's used. It's not brand new. but yeah, I plan on, 6, 7, 8 years for sure to really just enjoy it and hit the trails. Marina, good to see you. Glad to have you in here. JJ, yeah, let me get DraftKings on before we get buried in the chat here. ISRG. Cool. Norvin sent me a DM. Let me make sure I don't forget about his request. ANET. Yeah, guys, we got lots to talk about. SPY new all-time highs. QQQ not quite there. Gonna go over RSP again as well, just to kind of show you guys some kind of market breadth, kind of equal weight participants in the market, kind of see what we're doing. Of course, always pay attention to Tilio's newsletters. Those are always super important. But yeah, we got 15 people in here. I think it's football night. So attendance might be a little bit low, but all right, DraftKings. Going down the list here. Fitness, good to have you. Docu, yep. Trauma Weekly, will support. Alex D, JPM or GS, yep. I'll start just one just for now, Alex, to make sure we get everyone's request in, but I will definitely circle back around and get GS as well if we run out of time. Because I want to spend a little more in depth on Spine QQ just to kind of see how the heck we trade it, but all right, one last annoying premium ping to the server and then we'll dive in, guys. But like I said, thank you guys for being here on time. All right, Amazon, yep. Amazon, I think everything pretty much had a big breakout. All right, guys, let's dive in. Classes always run long, run late, whatever you want to call it. So this is the SPY SPY chart, S&P 500. I'm on the daily. We're going to start on the daily, guys. I want to show you guys, I guess, just some larger time frame just to kind of see where we're at, and if anyone has any specific levels they want to go over, we can definitely zoom in and talk about how to day trade this. But purely from a day trade perspective, you guys, or excuse me, a daily chart perspective, I think it's important, like I always say when we did this last push here, there's 2 or 3 main things I want to kind of just touch on, you guys. And it doesn't mean be bearish. It doesn't mean just buy puts blindly when I go over this, but just for perspective where we're at. And so this purple dash line is my daily 9 moving average, daily 9 MA. You hear me say that in the chat a lot on trade floor and stuff like that. And so I just want to point out, when we push and we make these big runs and we get extended, so I'm looking at this little pocket of air or this gap right here, how far we get from the moving averages before we kind of consolidate and we trickle back into it, we bounce or we consolidate, we touch, we close on or whatever it is before we make our next move. And if we look at the move last week, which great if you're on the right side of it, our daily 9 is closing down here. Like we are very, very extended. And so, like I said, it doesn't mean wake up tomorrow morning, buy puts. It just means, trade with caution because we made new all-time high and we gave some of it back or most of it back on Friday. And we kind of closed right around this old all-time high zone, the 607 to 608 range. And so, that's the level to watch. Basically, I'll zoom in a little bit to see and to show you guys, like, if we give out, how I might be leaning bearish on the day, or that would be my comments in my tab on my morning watch list. But again, you guys, just, we can see we trade around the moving averages, the move we get. And like I said, the daily 9 closed down here and we are pretty far extended. And so, like, if we just pretend this is the move from last week, see, when we get pretty far extended, we kind of consolidate a little bit and dip down back. And so if we see that this week, I would just treat it as people that caught this big move, they're just taking profit. It doesn't mean the economy's crashing and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, if news comes out, it's different. But, a dip back into here, the 605 zone, is a very, very healthy dip. And I think it'd be expected or appreciated. So again, if we come back into here, it's not just, the world is ending. Like this is a small retrace, and it's a retrace back to an old support. And so ideally, I would like to see some consolidation this week, maybe some touches into here, maybe some pushes back up. And we're going to see this moving average catch back up ideally. Because when we just keep making new all-time high each day, it's tricky because, this is literally uncharted territory, no pun intended. We've literally never been here. And so it's tricky without fib extensions or just trading the EMAs in front of you, or VWAP or hourly 20, whatever it is. And so that's just something to keep an eye on. And so I'm looking for a little bit of retracement. Like I said, don't want to be overly bearish, but that's just kind of the plan I have on it making new all-time highs. And one last thing, guys, when we get kind of overextended, I pull up the Bollinger Bands or Bollinger Bands. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. I just had the upper and +2, -2 pulled up, and we apply to that, and it messes up our screen. We come back in, and just another example, quick example, if I can, you guys, just when we get extended past those, just be mindful, okay? So one last look here. We get extended from the daily 9. Look at this upper band, this red squiggly line, and the lower band is this purple one. Again, I'm on the daily. And so when we see it pushes outside, we can DM River and bug River tonight or even tomorrow and say, what is the probability? I think he knows it, of when we close outside, the probability that it comes back in. Okay, so we push up or we touch it and it comes back in. And now we have almost 2 closes outside of it, and the last one opened at it, and we close back into it. So that's another thing just to watch. We kind of get extended, and you kind of feel maybe nervous or apprehensive on, taking longs because it just seems like it's just a moonshot up and up and up. That's kind of what I pay attention to. So let me look at the chat. But does anybody have any questions on SPY and kind of how to trade that? A zoomed in look here. Wow, is that candle accurate? Yeah, BB, Robinhood has SPY at 603.35. That's pretty accurate. Dang. All right, so that's a pretty big gap. So everything I talked about, we're kind of getting. So we shall see, you guys. Let me go the 4 hour and just see where that candle lays. Okay, that makes sense. Do you guys see pretty much just what I just talked about? So looking here, if that after hours of pre-market candle holds at 603-ish level, let's look left here. Pretty big support there, if you ask me. So again, how I trade that, you guys, definitely that's a good dip to buy. But again, we kind of close under that little pocket of support here. And to me, I always say like, upper range expected for the day or, lower range. Like to me, this is upper range, this big, crappy looking drawing up here. This is our upper range of trading. This is a lower range down here. And then somewhere in here is kind of the middle ground. And so again, if we give way here, if we give out, let's just say 602 flat for a round number, more importantly, maybe 602.35. Does that make sense, everyone? If we sell through that, how we give up all this support here, and we're probably going to retrace back down to support. So these were resistance lines, and now they're support lines on the way down. Okay. Yeah, Daniel. Yep, starts 1K. Yep, that's me. All right, guys. Does anybody have any questions on SPY? I want to get to the other stuff. I want to get to your guys' requests as well, because that's what this class is about. But it's always important because I know you guys day trade this. Let me touch on QQQs a little bit. QQQs did not make a new all-time high, unless I'm wrong. I'm going to go the daily real quick. But yeah, so let's stick to the 4 hour chart on QQQ and kind of see where we're at. Man, gap down too. Wow. All right. So I think just for speed of the class, so I talk about resistance zone, support zone, stuff like that. We're, again, top range, kind of lower middle range down here, and kind of, I'm not going to say no man's land because there's definitely support here. But if I get a quick drawing up here, guys, again, this is QQQ. I'm on the 4 hour. Just some levels to watch, some quick levels here. So, when you see my classes in charting, how I kind of say, when we push up to a level, when we give it away, it makes a leg down. And so this line right here is going to be my focus this Monday morning if we open around there. Kind of that 522 to 522.3 pocket. So we sell under, guys, leg down. Okay, we push up, reject, dip down, push up over, we leg up. And so I think that's a very nice kind of a pivot zone on QQQ to watch this week. So definitely, guys, if you're new to charting, I grabbed that 522.3 support level there, or you can take a screenshot, whatever's easiest for you guys, just because we can see that price action movement up and over it, around it. Again, we can zoom in and get very, very technical and, pinch some pennies here. But man, that's a gap down. If that holds, we shall see. I wonder if there's any news or anything coming out. But yeah, does anybody have any questions on QQQ? And see how I talked about the moving averages, how we're kind of far extended for them. Now, if we open around here, it's a little more reasonable for me to want to buy some dips or to buy some bounce plays off this zone here. But yeah, that's a gap down for sure if that held. So if you guys swung calls or anything, we shall see. All right, guys, the watch list, that's why we're here. The charting list, that is, from you guys. Norvin was first. He sent me a DM, ANET, Arista Networks. Let's take a look at that, see where we're at. Kevin says Trump's tariff. Oh, it might be some tariffs news. Okay, interesting. Yeah, guys, 2025 is going to be. I'm not saying bearish, but I think it's going to be a battle to be. We may see some big range action because, Trump tweets and his news conferences and his press conferences, and then if tariffs, that is not very good for inflation, in my opinion. I'm not an economist, but we shall see. But yeah, Norvin, you still in here, man? I'm sure this is breaking all-time highs or close to it. Yep. So for me, brother, this is just a ride the trend kind of thing. If you're in already, you ride with trailing stops. If you're looking for an entry, definitely we'll get some lines going here for you. I'm looking left, I'm grabbing these wicks here and they're moving over, lines up with that zone there, lines up with that cluster breakout. So now it's basically, you buy the dip and you just have to choose where. For me, it's either, break previous all-time high up here at basically 130, 131, 130.6, break that, break and retest, or just kind of be patient. Again, like I always say, if you're not a put buyer for whatever reason, let it trickle down into here because we got moving averages stacked and we got two big supports stacked. And I would absolutely try a call bounce at 121. If I don't know this name, I'm just looking at it for the first time tonight, giving you guys my perspective. But from a day trade options perspective, either a break and retest, break, retest, support. Okay. You never want to just see something pushing and dive in and have them smack it down and then, sell all the way down there and you're hurting pretty bad. So all-time highs, again, on a name like that, it's kind of tricky, kind of hard to do. Okay. Username R says ISRG. He or she is bearish on it. Let's see. Ooh, all right. Definitely nice retracement here. Okay. Ooh, I already know. I like charts like this because I already know what I'm going to tell you. Let me get some levels for you here. I'm on the 4 hour. Get some drawings up here because I know what I'm going to do if you want to be short on this. And I know a very low risk trade for you. I don't know what liquidity is like on weekly options or if you have to buy a month out. But so basically, if you're watching me chart this, username R, anybody else, or maybe people are new to the class, I look for candle body closes and I look left and right and see do they line up back and forth over pivot zones. So candle body closes and wicks underneath or above, and I kind of just get some levels going there. So old consolidation down here, there's not a whole lot. So not gonna say it's bearish on a straight trickle down, but this is what I would do if you're still in here. So we can do breakout retest on bullish things, and we can do breakdown and retest stuff. So for me, this user said they would be bearish, and I can find a reason to be bearish or a setup to be bearish on this. And to me, It's kind of my bread and butter of trading, and that is support break. You don't chase this candle in case it gets bought to back up, excuse me, but you sell down, you let them bounce it, and you take puts because this support is now resistance. Okay, so old support is now resistance. So any sell through, let me get out drawings real quick. It's probably gonna get messed up here, but any sell through support, break and retest. Same thing. We break out of a resistance, you get a retest, you get your calls here. So for me, I like this because we have a clear downtrend, multi-day downtrend. You can use this moving average as well. And we have the daily 9 stair stepping up. And guess what? It is now overhead. So that is a form of resistance as well. Your moving averages, even though it is a moving line, because it's literally a moving average, that is a form of resistance. So you have a trend line. Okay, let's say we open under here. Okay, you have, this is our level to watch. Let's just say 580. Okay, we open under it. You now have this resistance is resistance number 1. You have a trend line that has a resistance, and you have a moving average. So you take your puts. If we push up and you're a little bit red, 13, 18%, whatever it is, stay true to this setup because you have 3 things working against buyers. Okay, if they pop this trend line and push up, I'm not saying hold till this next level, but that is probably a trend line break and a structure reclaim, and it's probably going to curl and get bullish again. But if it sells down again, you get your retest there. Excuse me, if they sell down on that retest, you take your puts, no stress. Okay, where do I sell? How do I sell? What are my targets? Easy. You get to a lower time frame, but I'm on the 4-hour just for speed of class. But you grab, basically you look left, and this wick probably pretty much lines up with that wick. So if I catch that move, definitely, if I'm in several of these contracts, I'm selling probably everything at last week's low, because last week's low is a support and will probably bounce as well. Okay, this was the low before the breakout, and guess what? It came back down, and what did it do? It bounced, and it bounced huge. So if you watch this breakdown support and you dive into puts here and you don't look left at this, you get smoked on a big bounce and go, man, why did that bounce there? You guys have to chart and have a plan before you dive into anything every single time. Alex D, I mean, when I say breakout retest or breakdown retest, that can be like, we got a drawing, sorry. Like, we trade, a lot of us trade on the 5 and 15. So I don't know this name very well, but even a breakout and retest, Alex, it can even be on the 5-minute. So, I mean, I was on the 4-hour, but same thing. Breakout, you don't chase this big candle here. Like the people that played this consolidation here and catch this breakout, they're selling their calls here. And if you go, oh, the breakout's happening, you're literally buying their sells. Like, let's just say short expiration, this is a 40% move. They're selling you their contracts and you're buying. And now what do you do? Or what happens? You get this kill candle down back to support. And now you, as a trader, or how my mind thinks, you have to sit through that because you bought the top and now you have to wait to see if support holds. Support holds. Okay, you're back to break even hypothetically. Yeah. So to answer your question, a breakout and retest, it can be on any time frame. So this is a breakout retest of an EMA. If you listen to Flip's live chat or River or anybody, they say, when this candle comes back to the daily 9, or excuse me, the 9 EMA, I'm getting calls. So, a push here, you missed it, a touch there, that is literally the breakout retest that they're talking about. Okay. Or if you're bearish on it, break down, you don't chase the bottom of a candle. That's people selling, people bought there, they're selling there. You don't buy their sells, you get the retest of a bearish position and you take it down. Okay. So yeah, breakout and retest, breakdown and retest. That's what I do. When I alert something, if it doesn't make sense, always ask. And probably my first comment, to you in DMs or in trade floor, I think a trade take is, hey, this broke down here, I'm shorting the bounce, or this broke out here, I'm waiting for a retest of some key level stuff like that. JJ, EMAs are generally preferred intraday because they plan on so moving averages wait on the candles to close. EMAs are exponential moving averages. They factor in the movement that is happening in real time. So they're a little bit more accurate. Sorry, I'd take a drink. If stuff moves sideways, a moving average is going to be more closer to an EMA, but EMAs are preferred for day trading. DraftKings, who was that? Who wanted DraftKings? JJ. All right, perfect. Let's get it. I actually looked at this before, and I think it's kind of in a decent spot. You are bullish. All right, let's see what we got here. Because I trade this quite a bit, and I know there's some levels to play off of. So, scroll back to the chat. All right. Yeah, so DraftKings, absolutely, definitely playable. Absolutely. As for now, for a day trade, this 41 to 40, 4107 JJ, absolutely treat that as support until it's not. To me, buy all dips into here, whether it's consolidation days. Like, we don't know, you guys. We don't know if it's going to dip here and go like this. We don't know if it's going to dip here and move like this, or just like lay flat for a couple days or sell. We don't know. But all we can do as day traders, you guys, is take our shot when we see a setup every single day. So a zoomed in look here at that 41 level, and why I think that is, so a push up, resistance, sell down. Okay, so resistance. A push up, reclaim. What is that? That is support. Breakdown, retest. Ultimately, they sold through. There's some big flow here, bearish flow, not big, but some flow here. And I don't know if they sold out, so they might have got smoked enough. Anyway, a reclaim. So now we treat 41 as support every single time. Okay. So again, a zoomed in look, buy your bounces here. Who knows if we get a big move up, but all we can do is buy support and trust your setup, trust what you see every single day. If this holds this week, JJ, absolutely look to buy dips into here and absolutely sell the top range from last week. Okay. So you buy the dip Monday morning, you're cheering, you're sending me DMs, you're saying, hey, I'm up huge. I'm going to say, hey, where are you selling at? Okay. You better have a plan. So look at these candle body clusters here. Target. Absolutely. The highs from last week. I mean, I know it went up here, but this high range, when you see big topside wicks rejections, that is selling pressure right there. Okay. If you get this move up, you're a baller, you're in 10 contracts. You don't hold all 10 here, like I say, every single week and let it dip down and go, okay, I guess I'll trim here. No, you trim all the way up, you sell all of them, or you leave a runner here and you let it ride for the next big zone. But absolutely, until if this holds, buy your dips at 41, or just say we gap up hypothetically on DraftKings over the zone here, the highs from last week, take your calls. But any sales under, I'm bearish on a day trade because I'm looking for this move here. I'm looking for this move here. I'm looking for a sell and follow through move here when we sell through 41. Great request, great chart. Hopefully that helps you. If you need some more levels, send me a DM this week and I'll help you for sure. DocuSign, I think that's what that is, right? DOCU. Yep, haven't done this one in a while. Ooh, this is fitness, right? Yeah, we got some stacked moving averages for sure. Dang. All right, so December 5th, earnings pop. Very nice. Let me go back. Fitness, they're a good trade. Let me see what they said. Watching a trend on the weekly, seemed to build some support with 50 daily SMA. I know the 93 will be a battle though. All right, well, let's get some levels here for you. Let me get a couple levels recent, and then we'll go that weekly and see what you're talking about. Like the description though, means you have a trade plan already. So let me smack this 93 for you for sure. See what we're looking at there. And then bottom range from last couple weeks. Again, it's just speed of the class, won't be super accurate. Definitely, yep, I love that 93 top range for sure. In a wick there. All right, let's check that weekly, see what we're doing here. Ooh, interesting. All right, another quick drink of water. So yeah, fitness has a pretty good setup. Watching the trend. All right, yeah. So definitely this is a weekly level. So this back here, you guys, is now nearly 3 years ago, May 2022. So a sell beaten down, markets are rallying. This thing is finally getting some love back into this range here, back into this, sell through, like I would say, first time here in almost 3 years. Okay. So a zoomed in look. I mean, he or she's got the game plan absolutely right away. So we got some moving averages stacked. And when that starts curling, you guys, like I always say, when I find setup requests like this from you guys, if you want to be bullish or bearish on swings or long swings with time, this is kind of where you do it. Or a setup similar to this. Okay. So for me, if you buy in on some swings, we're literally top range, bottom range. Okay. And kind of a upper mid and a lower mid. And what are we? We're pretty much right in the middle. So this, as of now, it's a coin flip with a little bit of bias on the upside. And why I think there should be a little bit of bias is I see two moving averages stacked underneath as of now. So for me, this is the daily 20 has now curled and is underneath. We got our daily 9 underneath, and the 9 is going to curl faster because it only takes 9 days for the moving average. It's going to curl slower. It's going to cross under if we go up. And so when you see it cross like that, that's a very nice setup. So we got, lower highs right here, but we're kind of topped out, like fitness set at that 93. So what do? We can take some calls into this range here, but just know that it's kind of a 50-50. If we sell through, you either say, okay, I'm gonna sell these at a loss and get bearish down to my next big zone and not be foolish and definitely sell my puts at these huge bounces, or you let sellers take their turn and maybe you have a half entry. Maybe your expiration is December and you're like, you know what, I can hold through a $2 or $3 move down. Okay, so you have a half entry. I'm going to take my second fill there, but if this sells under, I'm cutting and I'll take the loss. I don't care if they're December contracts. You tell yourself that's fine. Or you catch this middle of the range buy. What do? Like they said, 93. He says the 93 will be a battle. Okay, but you catch this trade, you catch this trend up, you trim. What do? So you got April contracts, sell 3 or 5. You break this. Now you bought here, because you wanted some risk. Some people are waiting on this breakout retest. And now, a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of excitement. Guess what? You're chilling with 2 runners, hypothetically, and you're just riding this move up. So like I said, those moving averages, they're going to start curling as long as we go up. And now you have support, reclaim, and 2 moving averages under you. And that's where you see those big multi-day, multi-week moves curling under. But this is, they got a good chart. They got a good perspective. It's definitely top side resistance on 93 until it's not. Like tons of rejections there, tons of rejections. So, we can play this a couple ways. Get the breakout, retest, or even better over 94 if you want to wait, and then get some longs, get something with several weeks time, and then just ride that wave potentially. Or, short that. Don't just because it goes up, if you short a trend, you have to have a plan and a reason why. Why would we short here? Rejection. Okay. You have to have a plan if you want to short momentum like that. But we know it's a top zone, top range. That is an okay short. Okay. It's going down. You want to buy the dip. That's an okay dip to buy. Bounces. You guys get the point. Okay. Very nice chart, Fitness. Nice one. JPM. Alex, JPM. All right, you're up. How are we doing time? 5:30. All right. 5:30 for me, that is. JPM, bank sector. Some names get some love, some a little bit less. This looks like all-time high, probably. Yep. All right, Alex, all-time high. I'm a little weary on what to do because, it's always, we've never been up here. So for me, it's getting some levels on a back test. Are you in this already, Alex, or are you just looking for an entry? I'll just pay attention to that chat because I'm kind of caught up. So let me know in the chat. Yeah, Norman, I went over ANET. Where were you? Watching football? What are you doing? Drinking Modelo? Come on, brother. Just give me a hard time. Alex, just looking at, yeah. So all-time high, again, what we do or can do is, I don't want to draw a trend line because it's going to be kind of messy, but basically clear lower highs, keep getting set, okay? And I would kind of focus on this trend right here from last week. I mean, let me just draw an actual trend line for you. I guess that'd probably make more sense. But as long as this holds really, because it makes sense with these wicks, even though it's all-time high, I'm not looking to short until I see weakness. And so when I see weakness, I need to see a structure breakdown. And when it's structure, it means a trend line, it means a big support level. And for me, it's just not ready to be just blindly bearish on it. I would need like this zone to break. So a push, rejection, push, breakout, consolidation, breakout, after hours retest. So that is support and a trend line support. So for me, buy all dips at that kind of 262 until it fails you if we're down here. Or if you're kind of in the middle of the range, you literally just have to set some alerts and say, you know what, I'm just going to wait for this new all-time high to break, a breakout retest and try it there. Or you literally just bring this down here like this. And you say, I'm going to wait for a breakdown because I think this thing is running too much or whatever it is. And, one case says if we break a trend line, that could be bearish and, whatever. So 262 breaks, sure, get bearish, but don't ignore your levels down. Like if you're taking puts, have a plan down here, and this moving average is going to be creeping up. So you don't be taking puts into here and you're like, why are we not breaking down anymore? Well, duh, it's a moving average. It's there as support. And so it probably also lines up with this. So I would say that 262 this week, watch that. I don't trade this name a lot. I'm going to kill this alert because I don't want a bunch of stuff going off. But that 262, I think that can be a very nice reaction there, because if they sell through it and bounce it back up, that's a good dip to buy. Definitely. Nice chart. All right, we're rolling. Amazon. Let's go that daily. Let's check where we're at. Man, oh man, man, oh man. You guys say, oh, how do I find a bull flag breakout? It's like, man, oh man. This is textbook on the daily. Absolutely. So if you guys don't know what a bull flag is or a bear flag, so this is the flag. This is the flag pole. This is your flag, and this is a breakout. Okay, this is like, obviously it's in hindsight, but that's about as clean as it gets for a push up consolidation, kind of a battle here, $3-4 range, and then boom, breakout. And when we get the breakout, it's usually sellers giving up. And, if we get the big push up, sellers giving up, and a big continued move. Okay. Who was wanting this one? Are you in this one? Or I'm trying to get back to the chat. I just don't want it to get too buried, but Vason, bullish, they said, okay. I think a back test, Vason, of anything in this zone here. Let me get some drawings up, a couple more lines for you. So I'm on the 1 hour chart. If you're following along or want to take a screenshot just for reference. So for me, we're definitely coming into a big zone here. So the start of this zone for me, Vason, is this top line. So if this after hours candle is true, it kind of lines up with this zone here. It kind of lines up with this top. So we pushed up all-time high, sold through buyback, sold through, and we didn't make it back there until last week. Okay, so that is this 231 is and should be treated as support until it's not. Okay, so if we look at price action, just pretend that this is kind of the price action you want to see next week. So any hold at 231, buy your dips, try your dips, okay, into here. But again, have a plan. So if they sell through, small risk. And to me, we sell through that, I would probably get bearish on the day, but be mindful of this zone and then this zone coming up in this zone for sure. So To me, I wouldn't take a call at 231, and it expires in 4 days and hold all the way to 229 to see if that holds. To me, that's just not good trading. You could take a small loss knowing that this support is not holding, and you could ride these puts all the way down for a day or two. Maybe it gets it in a day, maybe it sells here, and then the next day it comes down here, and you're like, man, why didn't I take money, take those puts? I'm just staring at a big loss on Amazon calls. Okay. And this goes for anybody, guys. Don't get married to your entries. Like, we are day traders. If we take calls here, we can take puts and just flip on a dime, but you have to have that mindset. And you have to have a trade plan. Do not just hold for a deep loss and then you see an alert come out from Eva or someone's like, hey, I'm taking Amazon puts, and it's like, well, I guess I'll just hold these calls because I got calls. It's like, cut for the small loss and ride that momentum, you guys. Okay. You and me and everybody else combined, we do not have enough money to move Amazon. So if this trade is not working for you, for whatever reason, cut it. But man, if this holds, absolutely. Play your bounces. Okay, where do you sell? Absolutely. This top of this, see where these closes, bounce, bounce here. Absolutely. If you bottom take calls here, you better be selling there. Or most of them, that is. Nice chart though. But yeah, if this holds, I'm not saying, Monday morning, market opens at 6:30 for me, so 6:32 in the morning. I'm not saying just dive in calls here. Watch this price action around here. See what we do, see how we react. See if you can catch a move off that. All right. Trying to keep up with the chat. It doesn't auto scroll. It's super annoying. Or once I get off of it. George, good to see you here. SoFi, haven't done that one in a while. Yeah, Norman, I'll get your request back in here. I'll go back over it. Gotta get everyone's first request in though. Oh, well, I got a red line here. Let's make that default. All right. Big breakout. I know this thing's been beat down. This is not all-time highs for this guy. I don't think. Am I wrong? Yeah, there we go. All right. So, George, yeah, a big. If you guys don't chart SoFi, you better have 14 level on your charts. Huge level. So just to look back in history, just to kind of figure out how to build a game plan. Held that basically 1675 forever. This is back in 2021, 2022. Sold down, beaten down, beat up. No one liked it. No one loved it. Big rally last July through the end of the year. A push up, a reclaim of support 14, reclaim 15, reclaim 16, reclaim 17. Okay. So a old resistance is now support, and that's how we treat that. And so here we are in a smaller time frame. These levels still make sense. Breakout over 40, or excuse me, 14, a retest, and boom, it's on. Hell of a trend last couple weeks. Like, you guys catch shares or calls on that? %30 move. That's a move. So you guys, it comes down to charting, having a plan. When something breaks out and comes back into 14, you go, you know what? I'm getting some June calls. I'm hoping this 14 rides. Oh, I'm catching the trend. You're making money. Okay. Always chart on larger time frames. Always have a plan. George, definitely double top zone from last week to watch for sure. Top range, double top zone, multi-day, 1, 2, 3 days. So for me, how I trade this, I would put an alert on a break over basically 1825-ish. So a break and retest. So resistance would now be support. Look for a leg up, and you look left on that weekly chart that we had up for some targets. Definitely that high there might be a pre-market zone. Or, if you say, hey, markets look a little bit weak, this is kind of going sideways, it's failing here, maybe you missed it Monday, we come back up here, short that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So maybe the 5th day, maybe you're wrong, that's fine. Stop out, small loss, but guess what? I'll take this setup every single time. Okay. Again, you have to short where it makes sense. You can't just short because you think something's up too much. You short at resistance. And right now, 1825 is a big resistance. Okay. Big money, people that move money, people that are investors, whatever reason, they don't want SoFi to go over 1825. Okay. So this is resistance until it's not. Set some alerts here. Wait for them to trigger. Watch your price action. If we gap down, earnings tomorrow, shoot, man. Anything can happen. So earnings tomorrow, my charting is really not going to matter because it's based on a conference call. But purely from a charting perspective, because I'm pretty much done with it, but 1825, 16.7-ish. I really like that because that clean kind of body close there and retest. But yeah, let's just see what earnings give us tomorrow. See how it shakes out this week. But it's tomorrow, and if you're looking for an ER play, I can't do that for you because it's just speculation. We don't know what's going to be on the conference call. Maybe there's a good sentiment. Back to back to back earnings are really good. The next one's probably gonna be good. Maybe it will, but maybe it won't. So it's a gamble, you guys. Raj, AMD. Glad this one got requested. Got some things to talk about here because I know we talk about this every week. Okay. Remember those big levels we're talking about every single week, that 131, that 122.6. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this candle here. Based off SPY and QQQ, this could be an accurate candle, but just for education for this class, I'm going to pull this away just so we can see what we're dealing with here. Because I think AMD will give a very good, again, that candle can be real. We might open down 119. Let's hypothetically pretend it is not accurate. So look at this 122.6, you guys. Look at that reaction. Under, over, look at that reaction. 122, mark that. 122.62, more importantly. Okay. That is a huge support until it gives away. Daily 20, this green line. Two big supports stacked right here. So I am bullish on all bounces for a bounce try at least on 122.6, hoping and expecting that still holds because we go a smaller time frame. Let's go to 30. Didn't quite get there, but you see that reaction over and around 122.6 and how much that matters. Okay. Let's see if we gap down because that'll really, really change things. But if we do gap down, you guys treat 122.62 as resistance because it was support and is now resistance until we reclaim it. If that candle's accurate, we're coming into some big levels here. That'd be a gap over, or excuse me, under the daily 9 moving average. Yeah, we could be in a bloodbath tomorrow, or a lot could change overnight. We don't know. You're an AMD call, 125 expiring this Friday, currently down 40%. Hate to say it, Raj, but that's going to hurt if we open down here, man. And if we do, you just need to cut it and mentally, emotionally just move on from it. Because that's going to be a big loss. It's just foolish. Even if you're down 70%, you're like, well, okay, what's the point of cutting? Well, 30% of your money is still alive and available. So, if you guys care about money, you guys can't be reckless with money. Like when we break a big support, just, you know what? The timing was bad. We had news over the weekend, overnight, whatever it is, like just cut it and move on. For me, because now another thing on perspective, you guys, on some Greeks. Okay. So Raj just used an example, not calling you out. So they bought a 125. I got my little thing here in the way. Sorry, my little drawing thing's in the way. There we go. So 125 is essentially right here. So they bought somewhere, wherever they bought, okay, they're already down 40%. They bought a 125 strike, which was a reasonable strike, okay? So if we gap down now, let's say we didn't gap down. Let's say this support I'm talking about right here is right here, okay? Are we still going to buy a 125 strike? Maybe you can. It's $5 out of the money, but don't you think we'd be looking at 122 or 121 or 122 strike because it's more reasonable if we're at 120? The answer is yes. Okay. My point is, now that we sold down here, Greeks are really, really working against you. And so even if we push up, you're not going to be making that much money because you are now $5 out of the money versus when you bought it, you're probably $1 out of the money. And this down move wasn't hurting you a whole lot. So the farther and farther you get out of the money, and time decay hurts you more and more, you guys. And so that's my point of, if we just trickle down here, again, I'm not calling Raj out, it's just an example. If we trickle down, let's just say it's a 70% loss they're looking at the open. Cut it, super bearish on the day, you make your money back on puts, and guess what? You're not even thinking about this loss. Maybe you lost $200 on this and you made, $200 or 180. You're chilling, you're fine. Okay. But the worst thing you can do, take an average, take an average, take an average. Now they expire in 4 days, and now we're all the way down to 116 again, hypothetically. And now what? We're $11 out of the money. So we can rally huge. And again, you're still not going to make that much money because you're so far out of the money. The Greeks are working against you. So best case, and this goes for anyone, again, you guys, when the setup doesn't work for you, just cut it and move on. Like, it sucks. I take losses. Like, how do you think I feel, you guys? If I alert a loss, like, I don't know how many people take it. It's like, I got people that are trusting me and following me potentially. It's like, it sucks to take a loss, but I can't alert AMD here and tell people to hold calls down here and take a huge loss. You take the loss, you move on, you flip bearish, whatever it is, and you move on. Okay. Raj, if you need help this week on that AMD, let me know. Send me a DM. We'll talk it over. Okay. All right, Norvin, are you in here? Pay attention to the chat. You got 15 seconds to ask, or we are moving on. He's here with the Modelo in hand. ANET. Are you already in this, Norvin? Let me know. I'm done teasing you. I see you in the chat. Put down the Modelo and type, brother. Just teasing. Me and Norvin are buddies. Norvin, definitely all-time highs here. Double top zone. I think I kind of mentioned earlier. Looking to swing up or down. Yeah, nice. So what I've been talking about, you guys, and Norvin as well, double top / top range zone. This is my short zone. So you either take your shorts on a sell down retest of this level here, this low, not low, but this low little pivot from last week. Or if we gap down and you're like, hey, this is kind of running from me, you either wait and you take your calls here. Even though that can be an ugly gap, like 130 to 120, like, a $10 or $11 move. Like, again, we cannot lose sight of where we are on the chart. So that can be $11 gap down, but guess what? We're going to be super overextended, and we got a daily 9 and we got a support right here. So risky, but if you want to take your calls, you're a call guy, take them there at 121. Or if we open here, we kind of consolidate, we hold this little pocket, then you ride the trend and you absolutely sell most here. We break out, awesome. You sell all there, because I have to, maybe the breakout happens, but I don't trust any breakout until I see it. I assume it'll fail, and I trim heavy. So say I'm in 10, I trim, I'm down to 1. If the breakout fails, I don't even care, because I made money all the way up. If the breakout happens, guess what? I got April, May contracts, whatever it is, or maybe I'm just day trading this. I'm chilling. I'll take it up to here and sell because I caught it down there. So a couple ways to play this, but as people are saying in the chat, things are looking ugly after hours on this close here on the markets in general. So we will see where we open on Monday, you guys. Definitely. All right. All right. Get caught up on the chat. 550. Let me go to a couple small port stuff, whether you guys want it or not. We are doing it. Because there's a couple. What was I looking at? Let me scrub through this really quick. I was eyeing something. There's some flow hitting you guys on Bank of America, BAC. We got some dip buyers down here, but we're kind of, again, top range for sure. This 47. I'm not quite in yet, or I'm actually not in at all. I'm still watching. This is what I mean to say, but I was looking. Let me pull up. Shoot, just to give you guys some extra charts. Can't remember. I should have just wrote it down. That would have been smart, right? Oh, I think it's Norwegian, right? NCLH. I think this gives a decent trade. Basically a one-line chart, that 25.8. We can see that reaction at and around that. That might be on the watch list tomorrow. Again, we'll see where we open up. But I've been eyeing this price action back and forth, miss that move, and see this line here. bounce zone, sell, reclaim, sell under. Does that trigger a multi-day sell? I'm not sure, but I want to see that reaction there. So I'm actually going to slap an alert here to see if we push up on that one. Yeah, Norman, I'll look at Starbucks for you. Yeah, everything's got that kill candle. We might be hurting a little bit tomorrow, guys, as far as call holders. Starbucks, yeah, that 96.59 to 96.60. So if we see where that candle closes, if it's accurate, we can see it's this line here, how much that matters. So we come into that and bounce, how the reaction is from that. We sell under, we see how it's kind of just short the bounce mode every time we're under that level, meaning, you know, we sell through, you short it, you get this sell down, you know, we sell through, sell down, push up, you know, break down, retest. So a breakdown, retest, sell, take profit, sell to support, bounce. Kind of a tight range here. Starbucks is, when you're winning on it, it's fun to trade. And then when you take a loss and you get some crappy candle moves off of it, it's kind of like, man, why do I trade this shit? But it's kind of, it's love-hate for me, because sometimes you get some nice price action on it, you know, like a nice day like this, and then some days you just get like big wicks fake out. So for me, 97.5, 97.43-ish is my new ceiling, my new top. So I'll treat it as a sell down, a retest, take puts, or a bounce on support, some calls for a bounce, or a sell under. Support is now resistance here. A retest to short. Again, if we retest and we bounce over, you get it, same thing. Breakout, retest, cut your puts for a small loss, ride that wave up for potential bounce on Starbucks. Starbucks CEO got paid out 96 million. Yeah, me too. Why are you telling me, man? That was me last week. I got paid out. No, just kidding. What was I looking? Man, there's one. I gotta find it real quick, guys. Sorry. And then I'll do a SPY and QQQ recap. Yeah, forget it. I should have wrote it down. I can't find it. All right, guys, I'm going to do a nice thorough recap for you guys that may have joined late. Actually, let's touch on RSP, you guys. If you guys don't know this, a little bit of a learning session here. RSP is the S&P 500, just like SPY, but it's equal weight. I've gone on this a few times. You guys are here each week, you know. So each name in the S&P 500 has a weight, okay? So Apple is weighted different. I don't know if Starbucks in the S&P 500, but Apple would be weighted different than Starbucks in the S&P 500. But if those are both in there, in RSP, they're both equal weight. So let's just say it's 1%. There's 500 companies, you know, or let's just say, you know, whatever percent that is, it's 500 companies in here, it's equal weighting percent. Okay. So we can see here what I'm getting at is SPY, the S&P, non-equal weight, made a new all-time high. RSP, this kind of means everybody else in the market, not named big tech. With it, I would say industrials probably did pretty well. Financial banks did pretty well, XLF, but this is kind of everybody else. So this is all-time high on equal weight of SPY. We're still down. It's not much, 3%. So there's still some names participating in the market. And that's kind of what Tilio's talking about is I'm looking for breadth to improve or waiting for it to improve. And it's getting there. But, you know, this is not, you know, I don't know if it's ever side by side, but this is just some perspective on, you know, big tech and finances. Banks are still leading the way. Okay. So this is just something to watch, you guys. It's RSP. It's something that I like to keep an eye on of, you know, what's going on in the market kind of under the hood. It's not really internals, so to speak. It's actually not internals at all. It's just a way to gauge the market on, hey, is the whole market moving, or is it basically just Apple and Nvidia kind of a thing? And so again, RSP is a name to definitely keep an eye on the watch list, just to kind of see where we're at, because it can help you really gauge, you know, Are we really bearish, or just a couple names in the market bearish? Like, should I take SPY puts or something like that? How's the overall market looking? So that's just something to watch, you guys. But to recap, you guys, on SPY, a breakout of all-time highs. Basically, what I talked about at the beginning of class for you guys that may have been late is, pay attention to how far we are off our moving averages. This is the daily 9 here. We get extended, we get this little pocket, this gap. We come back to it, okay? We get extended, we come back to it. We get extended, we come back to it. We get extended to the downside. Here's our down line. We get extended. What do? We come back to it. You get the point. Retest. Big sell. Really far away from the moving average. What do? We bounce hard. Okay. So this daily 9 is all the way down here. It's pretty far extended, isn't it? So let's see. Again, people are talking about in the chat and on Robin and stuff, and where futures and stuff are out there right now, but we may be gapping down quite a bit. So if this candle, let me get out of here. So I want to see a retest. I'm not saying, hey, let's come all the way down here to 600. We can. That's fine. I won't be mad. But I want to see a retest and these moving averages catch up before we leg up. It's tough when we gap up, go, gap up, go, gap up, go, gap up, go. Of course, in hindsight, you could have just rode calls the entire week and been fine. But I want to see a retest back to moving average, get some tighter price action, back into some levels we know we trust that we can trade off of. That's basically how I want to see this week play out. Does it have to? I don't know. Maybe we gap down Monday, we shoot up back over 609 the next day. Who knows? Okay. QQQ. Quick drink of water. Let's go and see where we're at on the 4 hour just for a recap here. Okay. Again, if that gap down holds tomorrow, 522.31 is probably going to be on my watch list. My watch list notes are first level to watch there. So that's a very big level. Again, if I were to day trade you guys, I can zoom on the 5-minute chart. We can grab levels all day long, but it just makes the chart really, messy and cluttered. I like to find these big levels, these big movement zones. And for me, the first overhead, if we break that, 522.3, definitely 522.3 is the one to watch. We sell under that. What do we have? We have moving averages stacked underneath. And I'll probably say something like this tomorrow in my tab that if we break this, be bullish on the day, absolutely, for this gap fill this gap, absolutely. If we hold underneath this, I think 518 is the next target. And that would probably be my comment, on the tab is, we sell through, look for 518 as the lower range play for the day. Again, that's if you got a little bit of time and you can trim, and then sell all here and then buy the bounce for a hopeful 518 bounce. Because, we come into 518, big bounce. Okay. Maybe we slice through it. I don't know. But that 518 is going to be my focus absolutely this week. If we open under here, but over here, 518 for sure. Okay. Does anybody have questions on QQQ? Wow. We ended on time. I can't believe that, you guys. Appreciate all 16, 17 of you guys being here. All you guys, man. Clandestine chart writer. I see you guys. JJ, Joe, Juan, everybody. Appreciate you guys being in here, man. If you guys have any questions, send me a DM. DMs are always open. Say, hey, I'm looking at this on the chart. I want some help with this, or how would you chart this? I'll kind of push you for it. I'm not going to spoon feed you, but I'll help you along the way for sure, you guys. But DMs are always open, you guys. If you've seen something tonight, I'll get it tomorrow pre-market in the chat. But I'm gonna watch a little bit of football and enjoy the rest of my night, you guys, as well. Let's have a great week, you guys. Appreciate you all attending. Rena, thank you for being here. Joe, thank you guys. Okay. Have a great night, you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.